Good morning, everybody. It's January 27th and it's 32 degrees here in Lehigh, Utah. I didn't see what it was heading up to, but I wouldn't expect more than about 34, 35 degrees. It was snowing a little bit, but that stopped. And just kind of cold and cloudy. And I just want to tell you I'm thankful for all my subscribers that have come and all the people who have joined, and also my returning subscribers. Thank you so much. And I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, here to give you my stitching from the highway and at home, and mostly at home nowadays, as we all know, from the virus pandemic. Anyway, I'm going to do a little housekeeping first, a couple things that one of them I forgot about, and the other one I just wanted to check with people on. The first thing is I had a giveaway that I had done, oh golly, it must have been December, probably before my whip parades, and I totally forgot about it. And so I'm very sorry for that. I did pull the number, and the giveaway was this Instead of Sheep by Heartstring Samplery. You had to put blessings in your comment. So I did the random comment picker, and it picked Carlene Hall. So Carlene, if you see this video, I am going to put my email address down in my comment section, and well, actually the section where it goes down, where the arrow goes down, and it shows what I worked on and any details about that. My email will be there, and so please contact me, so email me so I can get this to you. And congratulations, Carlene. Put that back there. Oh my. I'm so thirsty lately. I guess it's the dry weather here in the winter. And then my other piece of housekeeping has to do with this piece of fabric. This is a 32 count Belfast charcoal gray, Zygarde based. I started stitching my sal from Tiny Modernist that was like, I think it was last year's sal, or maybe the year before that. Anyway, the Follow Your Dreams one. I started stitching it on this piece of fabric and was really having a difficult time. You know, my older eyes, I love the fabric, but I could not see it well, and I had to rip out an awful lot on it. And so I opted to move over to I believe a 16 count black Ada is what I'm working the project on now. I can still see the black squares on the Ada. Nobody need to tell me about putting it on white, doing other things. You know, it's that. I know all of that. I tried all of that. My eyes just aren't what they used to be. And so I have to stick with black or gray Ada in order to work the dark projects. So anyway, the whole reason I brought that up is I would like to give this piece away. It's a big piece. It's like, I could open it all up if you want, but it's a half a yard. I'm pretty positive. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, 27 by 36. It's a half a yard. It has the Follow Your Dream part from Tiny Modernist on it, but whoever wants it can just rip that out or continue it if they've got the pattern and want to. The only other thing is, somehow or another, it got a little piece of, it got something on it which I could not get off. So you have to be aware of that too. But you do have a lot of fabric above and below that you can work with this. I hated to toss it, so I decided that I would inquire of anybody if they wanted it. So the first person who comments to me, because I don't even know if I'm going to have anybody interested or not, the first person who comments in my comments below and wants the Follow Your Dreams charcoal gray fabric, let me know. And probably email me. I mean, I'll contact you. I'll reply to your comment, but email me to get, so I can get your address and send it to you if somebody's interested. So those are my two housekeeping things. I'm going to pretty much go into all my whips right now. not much is happening as far as any life updates, and other than we went to the river house for a couple weeks, and I'm hoping to go see my sister in another week or so. So that's pretty much what's going on. And other than that, I've actually been doing a lot of stitching. So I'm going to get into all the stitching now. And then after that, there'll be a little bit of haul in my plants. So my first one on the top of the pile is Temperature Typography. This is a pattern by Stitchy Mommy. She's on Etsy and also does a floss tube, as many of you know. And every year she makes up a pattern for the temperatures on the days of the year. And this year she did a typography of the months with the changes of the colors. So I'm working on this again. I had done one previously about 3 years ago and hadn't picked one up since. This is what I've gotten accomplished so far through the A of January. I'm doing it once a week and filling in the colors as they come about every 7 days. I found that to be the best for me. Mostly blues, as you can see, different shades of blues. We've had actually a milder winter so far than we normally have, so there's only one purple. I pulled out of all of her graphs for temperature picks, I pulled the one that's most typical of Utah, which is a lot of spiraling, widely different temperatures. Almost every day. Just wait a day, just wait an afternoon and temperatures change in Utah, especially northern Utah, very fast. So I figured I'd get a lot of different color changes, but as what always happens, you never know what's going to happen. I only have one purple there, and the rest have just been the varying shades of blue. So we have had quite a level type of temperatures. Not a lot of range yet. Hopefully that'll change, but it is pretty. So, oh, that is being stitched on 32 count a Be Stitched to Me fabric from my monthly fabric subscription. It's called Peanut. It's Lugana, and of course the colors are what I've chosen to do for my temperature colors, which are DMCs, but depends on the different colors that I chose. So I almost forgot to tell you what it was on. And that's a pretty fabric too. I really like these Stitch Me fabrics. Okay, the next one that I did was, every month I'm doing one of the Lizzie Kate Flip It series. This is the January stamp series, Flip It's. So I did finish the January one. Took me 2 or 3 days. And here's this cute little snowman. And he stitched on, let's see, vintage, 28 count vintage country mocha with the called for overdyed threads and the little buttons that come with it. So as you can see, I have a lot of fabric wrapped up in this on the top and the bottom. That's because I'm just going to go across the top and then down to do all the pieces, and then I will cut them around and finish them into kind of a, I'm going to put them on blocks and have them up for every month. So that's the January Flip It. That's my first FO of the year. Okay, the next piece is, these next 3 pieces are Sal's also, and what I got done on them. This is Ann Morrison, 1830. Beautiful, cute little sampler pattern. This was being hosted by Traditional Stitches, which is a stitching shop in Calgary, Alberta. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary, and so they had Nicola from Hands Across the Sea design them a little pattern for their 20th anniversary. And that's what Ann Morrison, that's how Ann Morrison came to be. So, and I'm stitching her on a 37 count Legacy linen with a conversion of Vicki Clayton silks. So this is what mine is so far. I did not receive my pattern or my fabric and floss until later, so I'm getting a little bit later of a start on this. But I am enjoying it. It's just a very pretty fabric and a very pretty pretty colors. Just not good to see. It's not easy to see in this light right now, but I'm really enjoying this piece. So again, that's Ann Morrison. Okay, my next piece is a Modern Folk Embroidery 2021 Stitch Along, The Fruit of Plenty. That's just a black and white copy of it off my printer. But even that, you can see how beautiful that piece is going to be. I am working on this, didn't take it out of the Q-snaps, and just started it just a couple days ago because other sales and things I was working on took up my time. But I'm pretty excited about it. I'm stitching it on a 25 count cream Lugana, one thread over one stitch, so it's 1 over 1. And I'm working, the threads I'm doing it with are Mrs. Sadis Rouge silk floss. And the colors are just beautiful. It was a hank, and so I cut it and put my threads on the ring. And it's a little easier to see there. They're just really, really pretty threads. With just a slight variegation in them in a deep red. So that probably doesn't show us too much, but I think it's going to be very nice as more comes along on it. I've always wanted to do kind of a red sampler on a cream color. So that's what she is going to be. And I'm going to put these back in their little bag right now because I don't want anything to happen to them or to get messed up. Okay, my next one is the Linen and Threads mystery sampler for 2021. That one is called Talavera. It's based on pottery in Spain, bright colored pottery in Spain. And Linen and Threads sales, as opposed to the other sales that I belong to, is a free sale. All you need to do is go to their website and look it up, and you can get the pieces of it. I'm stitching this on 32 count antique white Lugana by Zweigart, and I'll show you my colors in a minute. This is the frame that's for the piece to frame the boxes where the different motifs or stitching will go in, which of course we don't know yet what that is. Man oh man, just a comment. I was getting pretty sick of this, straight lines and counting, even though I know all the right ways to count and to try to make it as fast as I could, but oh my goodness. I'm surprised I got this done because I was just really burned out with this. But I did. Well, this is the whole thing. They left that little bottom part out, probably because something else is going there at the end. Or the beginning, who knows what they're going to do. And just to show you my color palette, I picked a few colors. I picked, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of bright colors for when I looked up my preferred color choices for Talavera piece pottery. So I'm using 796 for that frame there. A pretty blue. Kind of, it's called a royal blue. So if you look closely, you can kind of tell. And as you can see here, I just see it myself now. I did not fill in where I count right there. I'm going to have to fill in those stitches. Because I count like a lot of people. I do 10 stitches and then just do a half of a cross. and then Tim Morris, so I know what it is. And I thought I had filled in all of those, which I have everywhere else, but right there, I forgot it. So it's a good thing I saw that. Anyway, that's the frame part of my the color, and then the rest are the combination of these colors here, which I have a couple greens, a lighter and a darker. They're more of a teal type of a green, and then I have a kind of a yellow gold and this kind of rusty orange. So I'm pretty excited to see how this turns out and to decide where my colors go on the Talavera 2021 Mystery Cell. So, okay, now we're going to go into, I'm going to tell you about some of the Facebook stitching challenges that I signed up for, what I am doing in them, and what I accomplished. So the first one that comes up is WIPGO, and I will just explain things to you again, what each one of these are, even though many of you will already know about these challenges. There may be some who don't, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. The WIPGO was the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She's a floss tuber. And she decided to start a Facebook group where she did a WIPGO board, which is similar to a bingo board. And on it you put your projects. And you decide yourself what projects go in what bingo square. And then the middle square is a free square, which you can either use for just helping you out, or you can put in a new start in it. So the WIPGO, I don't have in front of me the WIPGO numbers, but I believe it was 6 and 18, and then the middle square, the freebie square. If I'm wrong on that, well, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, 2 were chosen, which are done every month. My one was Long Dog Samplers, Count Your Blessings. This is a Mania start that I did 3 years ago, and I'd like to get it done. It's not an extremely, or at least more done on it. It's not an extremely large long dog. So, and let me see here. I've got I have to write down what some of the things are because, or what they aren't, because I don't always know. And this one is on a very, very see-through white linen. I don't know what, it's a mystery linen. I don't know what designer it is or anything, but it does definitely need to go on a whiteboard, so, or it's going to be real bad to see through. This is a 28 count mystery white of some kind, or an antique white linen. But it is the called for colors. So lots of pretty flowers in this piece, so as you can see. And what I accomplished for it, since this isn't a sal, this is a one of my regular pieces, I already had work done on it, so, and it didn't get finished. So what I accomplished on it was I started from about here and worked my way down and around the corner. Whoops. So, not too bad. I think about 800 stitches. I am not done with my prompt of what I had put down for the WIPGO board, and that is because I kind of made a mistake on my own and thought it meant one thing when it meant another. I didn't look close, and Jessie Marie calls two numbers and not just one, and so the amount that I put down for doing one project is too much for 2. So I did probably about a quarter or so of the my prompt. So I'll just keep working on that until I get it done. My second WIPGO that got picked, I did get the actual amount done on it, and that's because it was part of another prompt that I'll tell you about, another challenge group that I'll tell you about in just a minute. So the other one that was called was African Woman with Peonies 2 by Artesy Cross Stitch. And that's artwork by Frederick Bazille and the design by Trina Clark. This has been a favorite of mine. I've really enjoyed working on this. And it's of course on a 25 count gridded even weave, which is what I generally work on. I made my goal for my other Facebook group and got my 1,000 plus stitches in, which also completed my goal for WIPGO. And to show you kind of what I ended up getting done was I've been kind of working it diagonally, but also working it cross country, finishing up a thread at a time, working my way down. So kind of a combination. And before I actually did have the hand, but I had only finished blocks like here. So if you can tell, I started up another set of blocks, got some of the colors in them. I also worked on a few threads that only had just a few stitches on them down the side of this leaf flower, and then started up here this one, so kind of on down. So that's African Woman with Peonies too. And this, of course, is one thread over one linen thread. 1 over 1, and it's full cross. So I always forget to say full cross because that's just usually what I do. I don't usually do 10th stitches. And I don't know why. Probably because I did 10th stitches a lot in needlepoint things I did, and I don't know, I just don't enjoy them as much as I do just full cross. That's just me. So that's why I hardly ever mention it, because it's always full cross to me anyway, even on full coverage. Oh, and just to let you know at the beginning of what this was all about is the other Facebook group that I'm doing a challenge in is called Full Coverage Fanatics. And they are a Facebook group that you can also join, like WIPGO. And they are doing several challenges. And in January, they did a bingo challenge, which is almost done. And I'm not sure how often they do the bingo challenge, but I know it's not monthly. So this challenge is almost done. And what they wanted you to do was pick projects off the bingo board that you put on for full coverage projects, and see if you can do a bingo, diagonal, straight down, across, or you can do it however you want. You can do a little bit of stitches on each one of the bingo squares. You can pick other things, you can do several, just a few, just one, if it can fit the prompts. So I chose to see if I could do the 1,000 stitches on 5 projects to fulfill a bingo. My bingo is a diagonal bingo, and I forgot to bring it here to show you. But I'll tell you the prompts that I worked on to do it. This African Woman with Peonies was a prompt that said, pick something with 2 or more of something in the pattern. And of course, that was easy with this one. There's 2 or more flowers all over this piece. So that was chosen. I got in 1,000 plus stitches. I think it was 1,035 or something like that. This might have been 1,026. So that prompt was filled. So I'm going to go on and show you the other parts of the Full Coverage Fanatic Bingos challenges that I got done so far. This is my oldest full coverage piece. I started this about 3 or 4 years ago, deciding I kind of wanted to try a full coverage. This is a Heaven and Earth design, and it's called Ariadne. The artwork's by Rachel Anderson, and Michelle just did the conversion from Heaven and Earth. And I really liked that, the girl stitching with her cat, her black cat. So. This one I also did 1,000 stitches, 1,000 plus. It's on 25 count gridded fabric, 1 over 1, full cross. This one, when I started it, I kind of went gung-ho on it. It has longish pages. And even though I didn't have Pattern Keeper at the time, I kept the longish pages going. So I finished 2 pages, as you can see from the straight there. That's just kind of how I did it. I did a page at a time, worked from the top down, finished it, and then I went over there and went to the top down. Well, now since I've got Pattern Keeper, I like to play around different ways. So with this one, I decided to take my first stitch that came on the start of the 3rd page and just work a bunch, like a thread's worth of it, down, and then decide if I wanted to work any more of it. So that's what I ended up doing. And as you can see, or I don't know if you can or not, there's metallic in this one here. There'll be metallic thread in that one and in that one. And because they're kind of like little stars or little lights up at the top there. And so the prompt for this one was anything that had metallic thread. And so that's why I chose Ariadne. And it was really fun to bring her out again and do her on Pattern Keeper. I had to fill in all this part on the Pattern Keeper, and then after I was done with that, I went, oh my goodness, I have 9% done on this pattern. It's a huge pattern. But it was kind of fun, 16,000 some stitches on it already. So I basically worked around, picked colors, and just worked down until they ended. Mostly stayed with colors where I could get quite a bit done, so I could get my 1,000 done fairly soon. If I had gone into the circles here, it would have taken a little longer with the metallics and changing out the colors, so I opted not to do that this time. So that's Ariadne, and her prompt was done, and over 1,000 stitches. So. Okay, the next one for the bingo, Heaven and Earth, the Full Coverage Fanatics bingo, was this Heaven and Earth project called The Quilts of Cape Cod by Jane Wooster Scott. I like her artwork, so I have several of her full coverage patterns that I got different sales and things like that. This is the first one I started on. This is being stitched on 25 count again. I've been gridding it myself. It's on a 25 count white Lugana, I believe, even weave of some kind. And this one got started. It has a lot of confetti. And this one, before I had Pattern Keeper, I did just 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and didn't even quite finish all the colors in those 3 blocks. The reason why I didn't, I found out later when I pulled this out, is because I didn't have the colors. So I didn't want to run right away to the store and get some more DMC. So what I opted to do was start playing around with Pattern Keeper again, since I had it, and just start pulling out threads that I knew would kind of give a framework to this piece. So that's what I did. As you can see, is showing the limbs of the tree, which is right up there in the top left-hand corner. So you can see the framework of the tree coming out. So that was really fun, because before I just was sticking to boxes just to fill them in when I was coloring them off. This way I kind of started going cross-country some and pulling up kind of a framework of what it looks like. Right down here too is also a tree starting, a tree that's just straight down. There's going to be a few trees here. So I just kept pulling colors that kept giving it a frame somewhat, and got over 1,000 stitches before I put it down. It's a confetti heavy piece, but it's been fun with Pattern Keeper because I'm just pulling out, the thread and just doing it for most of it. Some of them, when I can see kind of the picture taking shape, then I do 2 or 3 more threads so I can have it show up more. So that one was also accomplished for Full Coverage Bingo. And then my last one is my lady, Maleficent, Story Keep Maleficent, artwork by Anya Kai, and designed by Michelle on cross stitch, for cross stitch conversion. She's a smaller piece, so I know I'll finish her. Not sure when, but I will finish her. I did not happen to look after I did the 1,000 stitches for this prompt to see how far up I am, but I think I'm 40%. I was getting pretty excited saying, oh, maybe I'll get to 50% pretty soon. I didn't take her off the Q-snaps like the other full coverage, I did not, but I did open up the top here to show you how long she is so far. But not quite 50% yet. I've been doing her diagonally. I started her diagonally with carried threads, with park threads. But since with Pattern Keeper, I kept doing it diagonally somewhat. But when I came across threads where there were only just a few, like 10, 15, I ended up going down and doing them. or if there were just a few left on one part there, I just did that. So it's kind of a combination of diagonal, a little bit of cross country. So she's my beautiful lady. So that's Story Keep Maleficent. Well, of course, 1/1 full cross on the 25 count grid of fabric. And I'll show you my plans, my last 1,000 stitch bingo at the end, because it's in my plans. Hopefully I'll get it done. If I don't, I will have almost made my goal, and that's pretty good for that many stitches for the whole month. Another challenge that I'm doing for full coverage fanatics is what's called the 21,000 stitches in 2021. And that's you try to get 21,000 stitches in the whole year, which works out to about 1,700 and some per month, and 60 some stitches per day if you do it that way. Anyway, I'm working on Lacemaker, which is by Artesy Cross Stitch. The artwork's by Miles Burkett Foster. This one will look like nothing's done because I always start in the left-hand corner and it's all white. So, pretty boring. And we'll see if you can even tell what I did. I did about 700 stitches, so I am behind, but I was trying to get the bingo prompts done so I can pick up on it more when I get back to it. So, let's see here. Come on. It's right there. You can see it. I twisted some. You can kind of see it when I turn it a little bit. So, all just this, I think it's 3865, kind of a little bit of an off-white, with a few little holes in there for a few pale blues that come up sooner. So that's what got accomplished on her. Okay, and then one other, onto my most of my last projects that I worked on were done with the Facebook group Daily 30 and Stitching Journal. Unfortunately, that is a closed group. You can put your name down, I think, on a list. I'm not positive on that when things open up. So when they decide to take more people. But I did want to show what I accomplished on it because they started a yearly challenge called Zombie Run. And they wanted you to pick 4 pieces, and you would only work on those 4 pieces, and you had to get 2,400 stitches done within those 4 pieces in a month. And that way you would get some significant progress. And every piece had to be worked on at least one time. But you could work on others 3 or 4 times or 5 times for one. I mean, whatever you wanted. You could do even more stitches, but every piece had to be worked on at least one time. And I decided to pick 2 Mania pieces from my 2017 Mania. One piece that I'm trying to get done for my granddaughter in a year for her graduation. And then one really old Ada kit. And I want to get them done. I'd like to get them done before the year's done so I can pick another one to do for Zombie Run. Because you can... If you do get it done in that month, you have to wait till the next month, but you can start a new piece for Zombie Run. Okay, so that's explaining it in a short way of explaining it, as short as I could. This is Amazing Grace by Erica Michaels. This one was a 2017 Mania start. I really can't help you too much with what it is. It's a mystery fabric of some kind. To me, it looks like more of a natural linen. And I converted it to all other kinds of DMCs, and they're just in my bag. And if you're that interested, just contact me by email and I'll let you know. But I didn't want to pull them all out and say each one. And what I got accomplished, if I fold this up, let's see. I had done all of that top yellow border. And I had done these flowers up to right here. So what I got accomplished was the rest of the flowers, the butterfly, those 2 lines of yellow, and the 2 letters in this month of Zombie Run. So I'm real happy with that. I worked on her probably more than any of the other ones because this is a small piece and it should have been done a long time ago. So now it's going to get done. So she's been kind of my focus out of the 4. So that's the first one. The second one is also 2017 Mania, which is also smaller, and I want to get it done. It's called Welcome to the River by Hinzite. This is a, not Welcome to the River, it's called Welcome Home, actually. No, it is called Welcome to the River, actually. Yeah. And it's on a 28 count mystery linen with the called for DMC floss. This is kind of a brown color linen. So not sure what it is. I don't think it's a natural. Because if I put it together like this and you can see the color better without putting a backing board on it, you can see it's like a darker brown than that Amazing Grace. I'm working on this because it says Welcome to the River, and it's hard to find river patterns, and I want to put it up above our door when you go out to the river. It says Welcome to the River. What I accomplished was, if you go over to the, I started on the T, the H, and started in on the E. Before, all I had done was Welcome to. So that's what I accomplished this month for Zombie Run. My third piece is my granddaughter's piece for her birthday. It's a Mira. It's called Garden Prelude. And I knew that I needed to do some more work on this because sometimes other things take up my life. I'll go, oh, I want to work on that. And then the next thing I'll find out is, oh no, I'm close to having to give this present and I won't be done. So I figured putting it down for a Zombie Run piece would be really good because it would get done. This is a beautiful piece. I ended up doing, I'm doing it on a 32 count, which is the called for count, with Picture This Plus Demoiselle, which, if you can see, it's kind of has tones, very, very subtle shading of purples, blues, and greens. You can kind of see it better back there. And the called for threads and beads, which will go for it. Here she is a little bit closer. And I changed her skin tone and her hair to reflect my daughter. It was originally black, black hair. And what I had from before was all of her except for that bow and her hair flowing down. So everything starting from this bow on down is what I accomplished in Zombie Run, which is a good amount. Before I just had part of her dress and her hands, her violin, and her head and the top part of her hair. So that is Garden Prelude. Third zombie piece. Okay, moving on, and my fourth and final zombie piece, Zombie Run piece, is Feeding Time by Needle Treasures. This was a kit. I bought this probably 15 years ago. I bought it along with a little boy, these are Hummel, reproductions of Hummel, pieces. The other one was that I have finished is a little goat boy, and I can't remember the name of the pattern, but he's a little boy with 2 little goats by him. And I love Hummel, still do. And we used to raise goats and chickens, so it was just a good combination piece, the 2 pieces kits that I got. Picked them up at a Solvang, which is a little Danish town in California, years and years ago. And when I happened to glance on Etsy and eBay or other things, I haven't seen any of them up, hardly any, so I don't know if it's totally disappeared. I don't know if it's going to end up being a total unicorn chart for people. That I don't know. You'll have to check more. Anyway, this I picked this partly because it's been languishing for so long. It sits in my one of my other rooms just to kind of show off. People love to look at it, but then it doesn't get worked on. So I moved it back to my stitching room. It's on a frame, lap frame, and scroll lap frame, and started working on it again. What I had done before, actually I had done about half of her and then just stopped working on her. So I have, if you can see here, you can see like a straight line down there. I had done a straight line all the way up to from there over. So she was quite a bit done. The chickens weren't done totally down at the bottom, but she was quite a bit done. No back stitching yet. I'll just wait till the end for that. And so then I moved over when I did Zombie Run and did this little chicken here, eating out of the dish, part of her hand, and then started down here. Oh, also did the fence too. That's right. So got a decent amount done on her. And this little part here. I don't know what those are supposed to be. Anyway, that's the little girl in feeding time. So cute. So she will also be a zombie piece until she gets done. Okay, two more. I belong to semi-sane stitching Facebook group, which does challenge prompts also, and I didn't want to not do anything for it for this month. So they had a little thing called Nerdapalooza, and so they said pick a piece you have that is a nerdy piece, like from some movie or something that's more techy or whatever else, and you can work on it in the month, and you don't have any certain amount of stitches you have to do or anything. So I worked on this for a couple days, and it's an Etsy pattern by Crazy to Stitch called In This House We Do Star Wars. And this is also a 2017 Mania start, which I languishes because I get really burned out working on just a solid color. This is on a gray Lugana with black DMC thread. And there's a little BB right there. So in Nerdapalooza, I got the H, O, and U done. Before that, only the N and this was done. So at least I got some progress done on it. When I show it in Mania again come May, it won't be like I didn't do anything. And that's what I'm hoping to do too when Mania comes, that my pieces that aren't done, I hope that it looks like I did some progress on them. So that was Nerdapalooza. And then the other one I did is, oh man, I didn't write it down. I thought I wrote everything down, I didn't. It might have been called Book of Days, or it's a stitching where they do, you know, the days there are, for each day, there's always some kind of a special thing for that day that's been started, like Donut Day or like, oh, what else is there? Like Colors Day or something like that. Anyway, this, they were having a Birds Day, which was January 9th. So work on anything with birds on it. And I thought, well, I need to do a little bit of stitching, at least on my birthday sal, even though I'm busy working on the full coverage mostly. My birthday sal has birds in it. So that's what I opted to do that day for a few hours. So this is Those Who Sing by the Drawn Thread. This is my birthday start for 2020. It will be done by October 29th, 2021. And the stitching I got done on it. First I'll show it to you. This is, let's see, 32 count Zweigart Vintage Stormy Night. You can see the modeling. This is one of the Zweigart ones which you can get a little bit cheaper because the printing is on the front for the color. It's not hand painted, and it's on the back is just plain. I liked that color. I just opted for that instead of like a what it showed, just because I kind of wanted my piece to have kind of a stormy look to it, like a blue gray sky. And what I accomplished this time, I had already worked on this some, so I'll have to I did the bird, not her beak, because it's a specialty stitch, and I'm kind of leaving all of that to the end so I don't mess up any of the stitches when I go back. These leaves, this branch, and these leaves over here. The letters were already done, so that's a pretty good amount for the one day. So that was one of my other prompts. So if you're interested in any of those Facebook groups and doing any challenges, they're actually really lots of fun. So join them if you get a chance. Okay, that is all for my projects. Too many of them. I haven't done a floss tube for a while, so it's been kind of a little bit too long for doing a floss tube. So anyway, I'm going to try to finish the rest of this up as fast as I can. I hate downloading really long videos, but that's what it's getting to. So anyway, my haul, I have color and cotton threads. So I get two batches a month. And they got kind of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't find one of them. Oh, wait, yeah, I got them here. Okay, this was one of the color ones that they sent me with some real pretty colors. These have probably been shown by a lot of other people, so I won't go through all the names right now, so I can get through my subscriptions and the haul fairly fast. And these are the other colors, and I've seen people show these too. It's pretty plum colors, and like reds and deep reds and greens and plums. That's so pretty. That's Color and Cotton subscription of the month. You can check and see if they have any openings. I'm also getting fabric from Be Stitched to Me fabric. And this is called, oh no, wait. Yeah, this is Be Stitched Me. And this is called Winter Blues. Real pretty shaded blue. And that was the October one. They've been kind of behind in fabric dyeing because of trying to get the fabric. And this is their December one. And this is Honey. I think it's December. It might be January. I might have put some away. I've been getting a fat half. No, wait. I've been getting a fat quarter on Lugana, even wheat, because I didn't have much 32 count. I didn't have much of that. I don't seem to have. I thought I had a fortnight one, but I guess I don't have a fortnight one. So, and this is going to fall if I don't watch it. Put it back. So when I get that, I'll show it to you. I've been getting fortnight fabrics too, and it's supposed to be in the mail. It's probably sitting over the mailbox right now. I stopped up at Shepherd's Bush, north of me, about 45 minutes, to take a couple pieces to be framed, 3 pieces, because I'd saved up some money to do some framing at Jill Ransel's studio. So after I was done there, I called up Shepherd's Bush. They are not open, but they do bring you things. They do bring things to the front, and they very graciously brought some fabric to the front that I could look through and decide what I wanted. And I had wanted to get some Seraphim fabric, and they have some. So I found this, what's called Old Stationery. I like that color. This is a 32 count, and it's a half yard. Their fabrics feel a lot like Lakeside, and so I was curious. I like the modeling on them and everything, so I was curious to see what it'd be like to stitch on one. It's a little bit more. I don't want to pull the whole thing out, but that gives you a little bit of an idea. Other side. So I got that from Terry and Tina at Shepherd's Bush. Then when we were up the river house, I have Acorns and Threads coupon book that you get once a year that gives you a coupon for every month. And since I was up there, I was able to take advantage of the 20% off your entire purchase, which is the January coupon. So here's my stuff from Acorns and Threads. This is a kit that was made up for Acorns and Threads called Good Company by Plum Street. Their own little special kit. So cute with the little fox in the house. And the colors are just so pretty. So this was our own special kit for our virtual stitch-in. Acorns, the Pacific Northwest Summit stitch-in. So I got that. I got this Chessie and Me, Friends of the Mill sampler. Good friends are hard to find, harder to leave, and impossible to forget. I love that wagon wheel and the flag and everything. Okay, I also picked up the Stitch Goddess. Many of you have seen that. I love that. Love that piece by Tiny Modernist. And I've got one Scarlet House, this Sarah Hopwood 1847. Loved that brick house and those animals. Been wanting this one for a while, so I used my coupon to get it. And my final one was a GGR one called Mary Griffiths 1873. It's a Welsh sampler. I have Welsh ancestry, so I pick up Welsh samplers to work on. Love those birds and that girl. So those are the patterns that I picked up. And then I also got this cute little bag with cross-stitch letters and birds on that. Looks like blackbird almost. It might be. I don't know. I didn't ask them. And also they had their own corner gauge. It says Acorns and Threads. So I like to pick up the things that say a store, you know, have a little store emblem on them. So I got those. And then I also picked up some fabric. This was a Seraphim 40 count bee's knees with that quarter. Just that color is beautiful. Golden brown. Oh, so pretty. It almost really does look like the bees and the honeycomb and everything. I picked up these fabrics not for any particular reason, just because I fell in love with them. And I told myself I could get 3 along with 3 or 4 patterns and couple little specialty things. That's all I was going to get. And I stuck to it. So the second one was also a Seraphim, like what I picked up at Shepherd's Bush. This is called Dusty Road, and it's a 32 count. And it's got kind of like a pinkish tinge to it. Pinkish and cream. So, very light modeling, like a linen and threads. It doesn't show, with our washed out no sun, it doesn't show up very well, but it's got pinkish tones to it with the creams. Real pretty fabric for like samplers. And then the last one I fell in love with. What I'm going to do on it, I don't know. It's an R&R linen called Lucky Penny. Real light green. You can see that here. Real pretty. It's got some like splashes of a little bit of browns, tiny bit of like light browns in it too. And this is, I believe, a 40 count. Yeah, this is a 40 count. I really like that color. And then the last one I picked up wasn't a linen. It was actually, I've been having a hard time finding gridded fabric. So I picked up some 28 count gridded Lugana from them, a half yard. So those were my purchases for my coupon for Acorns and Threads. Thank you, Janine and everybody else. So, okay, my plans, and we'll wrap this up. Of course, I'm going to do another Lizzie Kate Flip It. They only take me just a couple days, and this is February's. Cute little heart. So I will be working on that for plans. I also found a really cute in the newest Just Cross Stitch magazine. I found a really cute pattern that I like. Some people like these little creatures, other people don't. It's designed by Autumn Lane Stitchery, And they have such neat patterns. And this one was called Lovely Gnomes. I like gnomes. And this is just a little piece. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do that little gnome piece for my Valentine stitch. If it doesn't get done, fine. I'll see how much I can get done by February 14th to celebrate Valentine's Day. Anyway, those are Lovely Gnomes. That's a just cross stitch. That's the issue, the February issue, just cross stitch, the newest one. I'm also going to do start Bellatrix by Bella Filipina. My mouth is getting dry. Love this pattern of Bellatrix. So when I get started on it, I'm going to start it on the 29th. I will let you see what my fabric and threads are, because I'm still trying to get it together. To celebrate Black History Month, this is a Fat Quarter Shop little special pattern called Stronger Together. And I thought that would be really fun to pick my own colors for that. And I have a dear friend, lace friend, who loves purples and other colors. She likes blacks too, but I'm kind of doing it in honor of her. We've been best friends for, oh man, it's been 16, 17, no, maybe longer than that. Maybe we've known each other 20 years in our lace making activities, and she is a dear, dear friend. So I'm kind of do it in just say, here, Fran, celebration. And then the last plan, of course, is for the end of this week to try to get done my last bingo for full coverage fanatics, and that will be Bluegrass Festival by K. Lamb Shannon. I've played the banjo some. I don't do it very much anymore, but still love bluegrass music in my banjo. So I thought this was an appropriate piece, and it fits the square for bingo, just as the other ones fit, because it has to be something with hats. Well, hats, mittens, scarves, whatever, but they definitely have hats. So that would be worked on too. So anyway, that is what I've done. I'm getting this done right under an hour. Was hoping to be a little less, but I knew with all those pieces I had that it would take a long time. Anyway, I want to give you the gratitude quote that I opened up in my book, my daily gratitude journal, and leave you with that. And it opened up on this one, shows this really cool desert scene and the cactus. And it says, "A journey is a person in itself. No two are alike." And that's by John Steinbeck. You know, he did a lot of journeying, and I think that's really true. No two people are alike, and no two places that you journey in, and that I've journeyed in as a highway stitcher, have been alike. So I thought that was a cool quote. So anyway, I'm going to end. I want you guys to have a great week, 2 weeks, whenever I get back. Thanks so much for watching again. And remember to just remember there's all the beauty that's out there, the beauty in your life, the beauty in the people around you, the beauty out there, and it's definitely there. If you're having a difficult time, remember to look for it, and you'll find it. And if you are always a happy, sunny person, then that's great too, and you do see all the beauty out there. So anyway, I would encourage you to do that. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you in a little while, hopefully a week or two, hopefully not 3 weeks. So anyway, bye-bye all.